Mystery Brazil's Roswell. When it comes to famous UFO incidents and extraterrestrial encounters, there is only one Roswell, the incident in 1947 when rumors of a crashed flying saucer with extraterrestrial beings or corpses being recovered still elicit theories and controversies today, with no consensus on whether it was a crashed weather balloon, a military test with living humans, a real ship from another solar system, or something else. While the New Mexico Roswell incident is unresolved 75 years later, a different encounter known as Brazil's Roswell is generating excitement just 26 years after it made mainstream media news in 1996. With the October release of director James Fox's documentary Moment of Contact, interest is high and growing, as Fox himself suggests that more photos and videos will be released soon, revealing the alleged extraterrestrials who witnesses claim were recovered, alive or dead, in Varginha, Brazil, in January 1996. Before you scoff, the post was retweeted by none other than James Fox, at James Fox. Ammonia and silicone? After watching the new documentary on the Varginha UFO case, Moment of Contact, there were a particular set of consistently reported characteristics about the crash site and creatures that I found extremely curious and caused me to do some deeper digging. The Reddit post retweeted by James Fox was posted on the r/UFOs Reddit forum by u/simplyabstraction and lists the revelations in Moment of Contact, which led to the ammonia-based lifeforms theory. 3 had to do with the physical appearance of the alien, and as described by witnesses, the beings were said to have bulbous red eyes, dark, nearly black skin, and some kind of extremely oily skin. 2 concerned the emotional state of the ETs. Witnesses described them as very scared. The fire department report said one was crying like a baby, and a police officer was able to easily subdue one of them. However, the most interesting revelations to the Reddit poster were that the crash site was reported to have a strong ammonia-like odor, and the 2 live creatures said to have been seen in town left a strong ammonia-like scent that did not go away with cleaning and lingered for many days. UFOs, hypothesis. The reported Varginha creatures were ammonia-based lifeforms oxidizing. The title of u/simplyabstraction's post caught the eye of James Fox. While it is scientifically possible, silicon-based lifeforms have not been found. As an alternative to carbon-based life, it would need an alternative to water, and the liquid most often suggested is ammonia, which is a polar molecule like water. The smell of ammonia, NH3, is well known due to its many applications, including as a cleaning product, solvent, and fertilizer. u/simplyabstraction points out that animes, derivatives of the ammonia molecule, have the same fishy, foul ammonia smell. More importantly, they are extremely toxic and easily absorbed through the skin, gut, and respiratory tract. Once inside the human body, they cause joint swelling, skin rashes, chest pain, and other conditions that worsen when exposed to sunlight. Why are these important? It goes back to the police officer who was said to have subdued an extraterrestrial. According to the documentary, that officer allegedly died a few weeks later from an unknown infection. If the officer was transdermally introduced to a high dose of toxic ammonia derivative, it could be inferred that observably, his symptoms would include skin rashes as well as a host of internal problems as a reflection of detoxification. The police officer was one of the few humans the witnesses claim had direct physical contact with the oily black skin of the ET. Could that oily black skin with the ammonia smell have been a consequence of the extraterrestrials being exposed to a carbon-based world? Were their bodies breaking down and their skin melting or decomposing into a form that was toxic to humans the way ammonia fumes are? Did the police officer become burned by that substance? Burned is a key word here. Witnesses reported the alleged crash site had a strong ammonia-like odor and the look of a chemical fire. Could the vegetation have been burned by chemicals rather than fire? One witness in the documentary who went by the alias Military X said the legs of the creature looked like burnt human bodies. Could that have been from exposure to a toxic atmosphere? As I continued my own education around ammonia-like chemicals, I discovered aniline. Aniline is the simplest aromatic amine. U/A simply abstractions research into ammonia led to aniline, which the Post explains is used in industrial applications with proper precautions. Aniline is toxic when inhaled, ingested, or absorbed through the skin. At room temperature, it resembles an oily liquid. Finally, aniline vapor is highly combustible. U/A simply abstraction puts all of these interesting pieces together and comes up with the theory that the ETs in the crashed spacecraft were ammonia-based beings who were breathing an ammonia-based atmosphere. When that ammonia was released by the crash and mixed with Earth's atmosphere, it caused an immediate chemical fire. The ETs who survived the crash fled. These are the beings reportedly seen by witnesses around Varginha before authorized personnel and the military occupied the location and allegedly removed them and everything else. The ETs were alive but suffocating in our atmosphere, causing the bulbous red eyes. The Earth's atmosphere also caused their aniline-like skin to oxidize, decompose into an oily mass, and release their ammonia smell, a process that was accelerated when they were exposed to sunlight. If this is correct, it means that these creatures were most likely suffering for days on end, suffocating in fear, and were well aware that their demise was inevitable. Sadly, U/A simply abstraction's assessment of the last days of the lives of these ETs was likely the same for the police officer exposed to the toxins. He probably died from myocarditis, hemolytic anemia, or a secondary infection. While this seems to be the only human death linked to the Varginha UFO incident, there could be more that have been covered up. If what documentarian James Fox says is true, that more photos will be revealed, will more information on the conditions of others exposed to the aliens be released along with them? What can we make of all of this? First, kudos to U/A simply abstraction for the research and logical thinking that went into the assessment posted on Reddit. It must be said at this point that moment of contact does not prove that the Varginha UFO incident occurred, that all or any of the witnesses saw what they say they saw, that the government is covering everything up, or even that the police officer existed and died from touching one of the ETs. The one element that lends credence to the ammonia-based life forms theory of simple abstraction is that James Fox retweeted it and does not disagree with the conclusion. All of this is possible. When will we be able to determine if it is real?